Texas Solid Waste
will now be recorded.
On, go ahead and start the meeting for Thursday, November 7th of the Central Texas Solid Waste Advisory Committee. Is there any public comments? Anybody signed up, or anybody want to say anything?
There's a caller and perhaps a citizen and members, but no one's requesting to say anything.
Okay. We're going to skip the action items right now. We have some technical difficulties online with somebody that needs to turn their camera on before we do those. So we're going to go on down just to the discussion items. And the first discussion item is a presentation from Reliable Tire.
Good morning. How is everybody?
Good.
Good. My name is Gary, and this is Anitra. And we're with Reliable Tire Disposal. We wanted to come and present to you guys and let you know we're out here. We're over in Burnett, Texas. Our main location is our shredding facilities there. We have another location in Victoria, Texas. We've kind of put together just a short presentation to go over and kind of show you our process and how it works so that you guys have a better understanding of what we do and how we do it. So with that being said, I don't want to keep you long. I know you guys are busy. But if we could start that slide, that'd be great. All right, so basically, we started 14 years ago. We started with bar horse trailer. We had a couple of retail tire shops. We found the need for a reliable tire recycling company. So we started Reliable Tire Disposal, and have grown it since.
So would you like the clicker?
You want the clicker?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No, not at all.
That's
okay.
You just,
Yeah, got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, so 2011 when we started, we offer a range of services. We'll come and pick up your tires. We send trailers. We deliver to our yard. Lots of different ways to do it. We do have some equipment there in the yard that I'll show you in a little bit. It is important to us that we collect these tires and that we recycle these tires. I did a COG meeting in San Angelo a few years ago, and they asked me, they said, well, when you pick up these tires, what do you do with them? I said, well, we go to the next county, we dump them on the side of the road, and then we go to the car. We introduce ourselves and say, we can solve your problem. But we really don't do that. Let's see here. So I think I may have this thing. Let's see here. We'll get you up to the good stuff. In early years, you know, the way that it worked was that we had a horse trailer, and I would go out during the day and pick up tires, bring them back. We had larger companies like we are now that would bring us semi-trailers, and we would fill those trailers, and then they would come and swap those trailers when they were full. And we just continued to grow. And she ran the tire shops until one day she called me and said, I closed it down and never opened it again. So we started doing this full time. Let's see here. So, like I said, then we go to our tire collection. We can do trailer drops. We can do box truck runs. We can do just any way that needs to be done to make it efficient for you guys or anybody else. We do a lot of HHWs across the state, so we're very familiar with that. So let's get into this. So this is the process, and this is a primary shredder here. This is our facility. So the way this works is we load whole tires into this machine, and it goes through and it breaks them down into about a 6 or an 8-inch piece. From there, it goes into the next machine to break it down to a 3 to 4-inch chip. This stuff's cool to me. I just touch on my bike to see how this works. But we currently do about 9,000 tires a day. So once it goes to that shredder, it goes to a classifying system. How many again? I'm sorry. Between 9 to 10,000. 9 to 10,000. Yes, sir. Okay. We just added a bunch more equipment to up that to 14,000 a day. So okay, we're growing like crazy. This is a vibratory discharge conveyor. As you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but as you can see, the steel and the rubber are together, but they're separated from each other. Hope you can see that. And from there, they're going to go underneath this magnet here, and this is how we separate the steel from the rubber. And then once it goes through there, this is what it looks like when it comes out. So right now we're providing a TDF chip, which is a tire derived fuel. It's an alternative fuel source that cement companies uses, paper pulps use, different places use, but that's what we're doing with 100% of this at this point. This new equipment that we put in is going to allow us to separate this and diversify revenue sources and go into asphalt and landscape material and different things along those lines. It is, like I said, important to us to make sure that that we do it correctly, and everything that we pick up is 100% recycled. We separate it from all the way back to the original components: the rubber, the steel, and the fiber. And we're very much involved with the community, with the communities in the area. We do cover all of Texas, so. Basically, that's what I got for you guys. I would be happy to answer any questions or anything that you might have that how I can help you or we can help you. Or
How small do you have to get the chips to be asphalt?
So the way that it works is that it's by mesh, and the way that works is it's a screen, and the number of holes per inch determines what size of mesh. And typically in the asphalt market, it's a 20 minus mesh. So it's 20, it'll be a 1 inch area with 20 holes.
So it's very small.
It's very small.
Very small.
Yes.
And you have the capability to shred up that small.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do that now. With, in that one video, that one slide there that you saw with where it was coming off that table, let's get back to it. It's all mixed in at that point. And then from there, we take it into a screening device to where we can pick out whatever size we want. Anyway, right here. Yeah, so as it comes out here, it goes from 1 inch all the way down to very, very fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The next stage from there is, like I say, the screening device, which breaks it up depending on what we're making, who we're making for. Break it up in different sizes at that point.
And do y'all recycle the steel, or how do you?
We do recycle the steel.
Okay.
Yeah, we sell it back to steel foundries, one in Seguin and one in Joshua. And I guess we sell about 80 tons a day of steel.
Wow. Wow.
We sell 120 tons of rubber a day. And the fiber at this point is just going back into the rubber as an alternative fuel source. But we can take any size tire from, motorcycle, go-kart, all the way up to equipment tires. Right. We actually have an excavator with a massive shear on it to break some of those tires down. We can grind up any size tire, but we've got to be able to fit it into the machine. And to do that, we use a shear to cut them down. But,
at a lot of our HHW events, people will bring tires with wheels on them.
Yep.
Do y'all take those?
We do. We discourage it, but we do take them. It's one of those things that it's extra labor involved in it, and I have probably about 5,000 of them.
Okay.
And it's just it's a
manual process.
It's a very manual process.
My staff does that now. We try to take the tires off and before we recycle them,
Right.
So.
Right.
And then we throw the wheels in the method.
Right. Understood. Yeah. And so we will take them, but like I said, especially from from these type of scenarios, retail tire shops and that kind of stuff, we do discourage it from those guys. But
yeah,
if we do a cleanup for you guys or anything along those lines, then we would take them for you. So. Yes, ma'am.
So who's buying the tire shreds and what are they manufacturing?
So it's a cement company, and the way it works is that the cement company, not the concrete, but the cement, they make the powder that goes into the concrete, that goes into aggregate, and all that good stuff to make the concrete. They have to put a bunch of different things together and then make a chemical reaction occur. And to do that, they've got to get it to 2,500 degrees. And they use these kilns, they're rotary kilns. And to get that fire there, they use these tire chips. And you think they're burning. So most people are like, oh my goodness, they're burning tires. How can this even be? And when you visualize a tire burning, you see it just black smoke pouring out of this tire, and it's like, this cannot be healthy for anybody, right? And that is correct. But with the way that they burn this at this temperature, it just incinerates the tire with just a few seconds. So that tire that's burning black is hot. It's a hot fire, but it's not hot like these guys are using it. So that's how come you don't see the smoke or anything like that. But they use a bunch of them.
Is that your only vendor that's purchasing them, or are they doing anything else with the tires?
At this point, yes, ma'am. So as I stated earlier, we have added a bunch of new equipment. And it's been a process. We've had to add this piece and this piece and this piece, and now we're ready to link it all together. And once we do that, then we'll be able to start pulling out the different size materials and sell them into different markets. One of the things, guys, that everybody says to us is, well, you get paid on the front to pick up the tires, and you get paid on the back to get rid of the tires, and so you're getting rich. Well, yes, we do that, but that's not exactly how it works. The machines that we run cost us a ton of money to not only have the machine, but to maintain the machine. So at the end of the day, it's just like anybody else's business. We struggle to save a few pennies out of every dollar. And I see in the future, real close in the future, the tipping fees, we call them tipping fees on the front, that when we pick up the tires, that they're going to come down and come down and come down and be like any other recycling type scenario.
Yeah.
And I see this because on the back end for the product, it's more and more demand. So now we've got all kinds of things that this is going into. Instead of it being a problem, now it's people want this, people want it, people want it. So for you guys, it's going to be good because I see that the prices will come down for us to pick up the tires. But because of that, we've had to do different things on the back end because the TDF that we sell is very minimal money, 2 cents a pound, something around there. It's not much. The problem diversified this. We're doing in the back, so that's good news for the tires that are coming in. But that's kind of where we're at.
If we had the ability to deliver the tires to you, is there a fee for that as well?
There's a fee, but it's a discounted fee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and she could help you with the fees. I have no idea anymore
Yeah.
how much. Yeah, and I didn't used to look like this either.
When you're pulling the horse trailer.
When I was pulling the horse trailer, that's exactly right. But now I sit in an office and
Yeah.
just kind of push things around. And, yeah. Anyway.
So I have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
So at the very end of your slide, you talked about some community initiatives. Can we talk a little bit about that? And does that stay inside of your community? Are there grants available for partner agencies or organizations that some of that money could go back into their community?
Yeah, so there is no grants available for what we do on our end. I think there's some for the cleanup events and that type of stuff. But for what we do, there's nothing there. The way that we get back to the community is through the FFAs, the local churches, just donating to people. That's how we're giving back to the community. But we don't just do it in Vernon County. We do it all over because we are all over. So.
That's what I was curious about. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, of course.
And with this being open to the public, it's helpful because the community has a place to take their tires. You can't really send a box truck and 2 guys to go to a location that's 15 miles away for 5, 6, 7 tires. But for us to have an open area to where they can come, whether it be Victoria or Vernon location, they have some place to actually recycle those tires without having to, just store them over and over and over.
Yes, ma'am.
Victor from Commerce Code would like to know, what is the limit of tires we can bring? Is there a daily limit on the number of tires you take? In other words, do you turn people away or organizations?
So there's no limit. The only thing that we do ask is that you're there before 3 p.m. And that's just because of manpower getting you in and out. The way it works when you do get to the yard is that you'll check in an office in the back. That will get you set up with somebody we call it the dock area. To unload the tires, and then once that's done, then you'll go back to the back with your final tire count and take care of it at that point. But there's no limit. There's no limit to size. We take them all, big or small. Yeah, like I said, we do try to detour the rims though, but other than that, we take them.
How many you want to take home with you?
Well, I got a 5.5 foot bed. How many can we fit there? Man, we've been known to put, when we were running box trucks, and we still will. But we've been known to, of course, fill the box truck and then stack them up between us at the seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it takes. Yeah, sure enough. But
Now, I think you guys said we can't do that no more, so.
yeah, now it's a whole different game. Yeah,
Thing regulations.
I know.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You get so big, then the safety guys start coming.
That's it. That's it. I told him earlier today, yesterday, as a matter of fact, I said, I'm tired of people telling me what I can't do. You can't do that. You can't do that. But we're all about customer service, and if we do something for you guys, we're going to take good care of you. We won't let you down. I promise you I won't dump the tires in the next county. That was just a joke. But yeah, you'll be taken good care of. And then she set up all this stuff over here. It's got our contact information, all the candy. I told her not to leave the candy, but she'll leave the candy.
I'm old, I'll leave it.
But, yeah, anything we can do for y'all, let us know. Okay. Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank
you
you for coming.
Absolutely. Here's this back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, no, I was gonna let them know.
Yes.
Miss Jackie had her camera turned on, so,
Okay, very good.
but then it got turned off, so hopefully she'll turn it back on. So
I think she did.
Oh, there she did. Okay, awesome.
Okay, very good.
So y'all can do your action items.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go back to item number 3, action item regarding approval of the August 29th meeting minutes. I'll entertain a motion on that.
A motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Marcy Steele and a second from Dwayne. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, or action carried forward. We'll go now to discussion item of number 5 regarding the presentation from Fort Cavazos about composting.
We do have a second.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So I think that's supposed to be an action.
Okay, good, because it's just a little muffled on my end. So I heard Fort Cavazos and I heard composting. I'm not really sure what was said.
Yes, you have the floor.
Hello?
Do you have a presentation regarding composting?
Oh, yes. And so I had a PowerPoint presentation, and I apologize, guys. I was thinking that this was going to be fairly straightforward. I should have known better, considering the fact that I have my machine is monitored by the government and it's very picky. I tried to get onto the meeting online, and it's just not allowing any permissions. And so I'm unable to share the presentation. And so at least for me to be able to see you guys see my face, I downloaded on my phone, but there's no way for me to be able to show the presentation this way. And I would really prefer to be able to do that. So if there's another opportunity in the future for me to try this again, and I'll just go in person. I think this is the last time I'm going to try to do it online. The only reason why I did this is because I had another meeting that ran long, and so I was trying to manage my time a little better.
Okay, very good. We'll if you're fine, we'll push it to the next meeting.
Say that again, please.
If you're good with it, we'll just push it to the next meeting for your presentation.
I'm so sorry. I cannot hear anything. If you want to send me a message in the chat, I can answer.
Yeah, can you tell her? We'll push it to next meeting.
Should we do the action item?
Yeah.
Okay. On the agenda is actually number 7. We're going to move to that since Jackie's still online. Hopefully she can hear. But it's actually an action item regarding meeting schedule for the calendar year 2025. And David, if you want to take it over.
Yeah, so I mean, as you guys know, we try to meet the second or third Thursday, 3 months apart. So I was just thinking, February 13th, May, August 28th, and November 14th. 4 good days to meet. Yeah, it's a bit hard to see, but there's the schedule up there. And the August one, obviously, that one, it's going to be a bit later in the month, just so that we can get in, obviously, our solid waste applications there. But the rest of them are scheduled for the second Thursday of each month. Or not each month, but it's every third month.
So August 28th would be our one for the.
Yeah, one for the approving all the
applications.
Yeah, all the applications.
Okay.
Right.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the 2025 meeting schedule as written.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries forward. Thank you, guys. And now we're going back to item number 6, discussion item regarding the use of procurement agency for new household waste contractor. Household hazardous waste contractor, sorry.
Right, so as we discussed in our previous meeting, we were kind of talking about how our contract with Clean Earth doesn't really reflect maybe some of our priorities in regards to cost, inflation, and we're looking at possibly choosing to not renew our contract for next year so that we can get, a better, more accurate slate of prices from them. And the SWIFR did recommend that we kind of go through with that. So we have a line to Clean Earth to know that we're not going to be renewing the contracts for this coming year. So previously, the way we get these contracts is through our request for procurement that we just, or a request for proposal, sorry, that we would just kind of send out and we take the applications ourselves and review them. But the CITCOG also does partner with 791 Co-op, which is a procurement agency that would kind of let us handle, or that would kind of let them handle that side of things for us. They would, they would send out the RFP and they would, take the bid offers and kind of look through them ourselves and then present them back to us. So, there's not a huge difference between the two of them. Working with the procurement agency would kind of take off the responsibility of kind of sending out the RFP and reviewing a lot of these proposals ourselves and taking them and stuff like that. They would be able to handle that side of things. So we're just kind of wanting to know if the SWIFR has any kind of preference for what we do, if us CITCOG puts out the RFP ourselves, or if we use a procurement agency, if there's any kind of preference there.
Have we been able to look at if any contracts have already been awarded from that procurement agency and what that competitive pricing is?
I know CITCOG has used it before. I know they use it for others, not for SWAC. So I personally know James might be able to speak more on that. I was a few months ago we were looking into buying some radar signs and we're using the procurement agency for that. We were having applicants go through them. So I know a little bit about that side of things. It's mostly about like directing applicants to the procurement agency, having them kind of apply a conveyor and send all the information to them. And then it gets kind of filtered back to us and we get, the procurement agency collects all the information that they have to send, all of the paperwork and stuff like that. And then I think they just give us the, hey, this is what they're offering, this is their bid offer. So they kind of, I guess, distill it down to that. So I think it streamlines it more, but I don't know exactly if it changes the actual competitive pricing or anything.
And what's the cost for these services?
Cost? I don't know off the top of my head what the cost is.
Y'all, James is online. He's ready to answer some questions for you.
Okay. James, can you hear us?
I can hear y'all. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So 791, in essence, the short version is it basically would work like a buy board where we could have multiple options, and then whoever is running an event could select from the vendors that are approved through the co-op contract that SICOG holds. So I think the decision in my head comes down to whether the SWAC would rather just have one contractor that runs all the events for the next 2-3 years, and then we could reevaluate then, or if people want to have options for each individual event and can select, which vendor they like the best. Of course, each vendor I think would have the pricing of what it would cost, and we would request that information be on file, since I know that's one of the big reasons we're switching, or we're deciding to do a new procurement, because of all the changes that have happened over the last 5 years. Dwayne, to your question about cost for services, 791, there's no cost to the COG for them to perform that service. They receive a small percentage of successful contracts afterwards. So if someone uses the contract through the COG, they receive a percentage of that. I'm not sure what those details are, but it's all after the fact, and it has no impact on the SWAC or what we're funding, that sort of thing.
Thank you.
James, do you know if contracts have already been awarded through this, and if anybody else has used them, so we could look at, prior events or costs?
I know they have other contracts, and we can gather some information to send out to everybody. There doesn't have to be a decision made today. I know they have quite a few, some a recent round that they just finished, but then some other ones from earlier this year, I think, that they've had people use those and I'm probably using the wrong term, but people use those vendors through the co-op. We can get more information about numbers and all of that.
I think it's a great idea, because the last time we did an RFP, I think we had, was it just Clean Earth that responded?
It was right before I joined, but I think there was one other, Clean Harbors maybe. I think we had two. We have those records and could also add that to a follow-up email about this.
Anybody else have thoughts on it?
Do we need to vote on which way the SWAC wants to go?
This is just a discussion item, so we don't have to make a binding decision or anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Last thing for me, I think as for timing, we're kind of thinking that in the spring would be a good time to run the procurement and have that finished, by early summer or summer sometime, so that we could have it in place for the next round of applications for next summer. Yeah. Have it in place before the next call for projects goes out.
So we have time for our next meeting to get some information, discuss it again.
Yeah, I think there could be a decision made at the February meeting.
No, I do like the option of going year by year, and we have the option on which company we're going to use for our HHW units. I think that's going to be advantageous to everyone.
Should create more. I mean, the whole spirit of it is create more competition.
I was about to say, it'll become a little bit more competitive.
Yeah.
Which means we might pay less. So that's good for us. Yeah, good discussion.
All right, thank you. We're down to number 8, item 8, a discussion item regarding future presentations and topics for discussion.
All right, yeah, so obviously, it's the season for presentations and everything, given how we don't have, as many action items, because now we, we're past the point of approving applications and everything. We do have two potential presenters. The Crushing Tigers, I think it's a tire, scrap company. I think a little bit like Reliable Tire. I think they might produce the actual machinery that crushes and breaks down tires. I'll look into them a bit more. And then the recycling partnership, I know is one that's brought up. If anyone has any more ideas for presenters, so I'd be glad to hear them.
I know the Crushing Tigers, they come to my office. They do make the machines, the shredders, and that kind of stuff. They do a lot of aggregate material, breaking that stuff, make machines for all that. But they also have a tire shredder.
Okay.
I think it'd be neat to see a presentation, but I'm not sure. Honestly, after hearing Reliable's numbers, I'm kind of blown by how much they do, and I don't know that we want to compete with that. At the cog, I don't know. Could we?
Yeah, the question is the market going to be there, and does the SWAC going to have the commitment?
Yeah.
The commitment and the resources to move forward, and I say listen to them, see what they have to offer. You never know. They might have combinations of 3 or 4 different machines at a cheaper price. That might be the logistics of it, of course, is going to be a nightmare, but
yeah,
it's still good to hold our options.
Yeah.
Our options.
And the recycling partnership, I think that would be awesome. A good presentation. I know they go after a lot of grants and find some ways to think outside the box and not throw everything in landfill. Yeah.
The whole purpose of getting the Crushing Tigers in here is we were talking about getting a regional recycling center for us, for all of us in the room. So we have to see that idea through, and I think turn every stone until we just get no's across the board. Because that's what the majority of the people in the room wanted at that discussion at that time.
Yeah.
So, I say just let them come and see what they have to offer and put them in our back pocket. And we might use them, we might not, but at least we have that network. Moving forward.
All right, then I'll reach out to both of them and see if I can get them on for the February meeting.
Okay.
And then just kind of staff update. A couple weekends ago, we had the Temple HHW event. There's also new SWIFR funding available for communities. I'll resend the link for that to everyone on the SWAC.
I could talk about our event a little bit. We had 458 cars come through. The numbers were a little down this year for us, but I think we kind of contribute that to a little bit with our new recycling center or solid waste complex that we built in the last year and a half. We've started taking paint full time and tires as well. And so I kind of look at those programs as kind of maybe a reason for a decrease in numbers for the day. But the event went really well. We opened at 9 a.m. It was 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And the first hour we had 200 cars. And so people lined up early. And as soon as we opened the gate, and we were actually able to get them through there, I don't know, probably 35 minutes a car when we first opened the gate. So it was fairly fast for those 200 people to come through, and then throughout the rest of the day we had 258 more. So it turned out to be a good event. I don't have all the numbers yet of what all we collected, but I'll have that for our next meeting for sure.
Yeah, and when I was in the lines getting the survey data, a lot of people were saying that it was so much faster, and they were really appreciative of that. So yeah, I mean, I only heard good things from the people who were there.
That's good.
And air quality. Just it.
Anybody have any, comments or discussion items they want to bring up? Anybody online, Anita?
There's several members online, no one's expressed an interest to, share.
Okay. All right, well, with that, our next meeting is going to be February 13th. Same time, 10 a.m.?
Yes, I am.
10 a.m., February 13th. And,
One moment, please.
yes,
We had a question. Victor from, a comment. From Victor. What are the remaining HHW events this fiscal year 25?
It was, we have a HHW in Hamilton in February. I think it's February, I'll say 21st. I know somewhere around there. I'll send out those details in the follow-up. Then we have the March Bell County Tire events, I think the 13th and 14th. And then we have the Clean HHW event in May. I think it's May 3rd. It's around there. But yeah, I'll send these updates for those in the follow-up email. But yeah, I know February, yeah, times and locations, yes. I'll send out the full slate of it, so.
they were in the meeting for the package, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, with that, we'll adjourn this meeting. It's 10:44, so we got 15 minutes back today.